My world shattered the day Mom slid a ledger across the kitchen table, her eyes red from crying. "Lila, the bakery's dying," she whispered, voice cracking like the cracked linoleum under our feet. I was 18, a senior in high school, with dreams of college and a life beyond the flour-dusted counters of our family's struggling business. But that night, the air in our cramped apartment above the shop felt heavier than the sacks of dough I kneaded every morning before school. Dad sat silent, his hands clasped so tight his knuckles whitened, while my older brother, Jake, slouched in the corner scrolling on his phone, oblivious to the storm brewing. The bakery had been our family's heart for 3 generations, a warm, buttery haven in our small town of Willow Creek. Grandpa built it from nothing, his hands shaping every loaf, every memory. Mom and Dad kept it alive barely through recessions and rising costs. But now the numbers in that ledger screamed what they wouldn't say aloud. We were drowning. Rent was late, suppliers were unpaid, and the bank was circling like a vulture. Mom's solution was a gut punch. "Lila, we need you to quit school. Work full-time at the bakery. We can save it if we all pull together." Her voice trembled, but her eyes begged me to understand. I stared at her, my heart pounding so loud I thought it might burst. Quit school. My scholarship to state was my ticket out, my chance to study engineering, to build bridges, literal ones, not the kind that kept this family tethered to a sinking ship. I'd spent years studying late into the night, acing exams while the scent of burnt sugar clung to my hair. School was my escape, my proof I was more than the girl behind the counter. And now they wanted me to throw it away? Then came the second blow. Dad cleared his throat, avoiding my gaze. "And Lila, Jake needs our support too. He's got a shot at going pro in gaming. Tournaments, sponsorships, it could change everything for us." I almost laughed, but the bile rising in my throat stopped me. Jake, 22, who spent his days streaming, shouting into a headset while the bakery crumbled. Jake, who hadn't lifted a tray in years, who called my dreams cute but unrealistic. They wanted me to fund his fantasy while burying mine. I looked at Mom, her face etched with desperation, and Dad, his silence louder than any words. Jake didn't even look up from his phone. The kitchen walls closed in, the air thick with the weight of their expectations. I pushed the chair back, the screech against the floor cutting through the silence. "No," I said, my voice steady despite the tremor in my chest. "I'm not quitting school. I'm not giving up my life for this." Mom gasped, but I was already moving, grabbing my backpack from the hook by the door. I walked out, the bell above the bakery door jangling behind me like a final goodbye. The street outside was quiet, the dusk painting Willow Creek in shades of gold and shadow. I walked, not knowing where I was going, just needing to move. Each step felt like shedding a layer of guilt, of duty, of the girl who'd always said yes. The bakery's sign faded in the distance, its chipped paint a symbol of everything I was leaving behind. I loved that place, the warmth of the ovens, the laughter of customers, the way Grandpa's old recipes tasted like home. But love wasn't enough to chain me to a life I didn't choose. I ended up at the town's edge, where the old train tracks cut through the fields. The stars were starting to peek out, and I sat on a rusted rail, my backpack heavy with textbooks and dreams. My phone buzzed, Mom's name on the screen. I let it go to voicemail. I wasn't ready to hear her pleas, her tears. Not yet. Instead, I thought about the bridge I'd sketched in my notebook last week, a design for my engineering class. It was strong, elegant, built to last. Like me. The next morning I showed up at school, ignoring the whispers of classmates who knew about the bakery's troubles. My best friend Sarah found me at my locker. "Lila, you okay? I heard you left home." Her concern was genuine, but I could only nod. I didn't have the words to explain the ache in my chest, the mix of fear and freedom. I threw myself into my classes, every equation a step toward my future. But at night, alone in the spare room at Sarah's house, the guilt crept in. Was I selfish? Was I abandoning my family? Weeks passed. I worked part-time at a diner, saving every penny for college. The bakery limped along without me, Mom and Dad stretching themselves thin. Jake predictably kept gaming, his big break always just out of reach. I visited once, slipping in after closing. The shop felt smaller, the air stale. Mom hugged me, her arms trembling, but we didn't talk about the fight. Not yet. Dad just nodded, his eyes heavy with unspoken words. One day, Sarah dragged me to a town meeting about revitalizing Main Street. The mayor was looking for ideas, and something in me sparked. I stood up, my voice shaky at first, and pitched a community project, a co-op to save small businesses like the bakery. People listened. Really listened. By the end of the night, we'd formed a committee, and I was leading it. Me, the girl who'd walked away, was finding a way to give back without giving up. The co-op took months to build. I juggled school, the diner, and late-night planning sessions. We crowdfunded, rallied local businesses, and got the bakery on board. Mom cried when we presented the plan, not out of sadness this time, but pride. The bakery didn't just survive. It thrived with new customers and shared resources. Jake even started helping out, though I suspected it was more for the free pastries than any real change of heart. By graduation, I was different. Stronger. I'd learned that walking away didn't mean abandoning my family, it meant choosing myself first. I stood on the stage, diploma in hand, and saw Mom and Dad in the crowd, clapping harder than anyone. Jake was there too, his phone in his pocket for once. After the ceremony, Mom pulled me close. "You were right, Lila," she whispered. "You needed to fight for your dreams." Now, as I pack for college, my sketchbook is filled with bridges, some real, some metaphors. I think about the one I'm building back to my family, stronger than before because it's built on truth. I walked away to save myself, but in doing so, I found a way to lift us all. The bakery's lights stay on, Jake's still chasing his dreams, and I'm chasing mine. And somehow that feels like enough.